scenario to create my organization unit. So I use first organization unit as university. Under that, I create B1 and B2. So under B1, you can see these 4 subjects are available. In the one subject, you have to 3 years, and under these 3 years, you will see users. But I didn't put because of right corner, because of limitation of the slide, because everything have same. And first time I create a university organization unit as I click. Then under that I create B1 folder. Like that I create this organization structure. You can see on first organization root is university, then B1 B Ed MMW NetSoft, and under that 3 years are about. And after that I create a user. So you can right click new and click users, and it will see what is the basic details of new user. Then it will ask the password. You can click basic password policy and for these user. So I click user must need to change first login. So then after the finish, you can see under this 19 organization unit user are created. Then likewise, I created so many users in these structures. In the 19 batch, I create 3 users. You can see how I create 3 users in the 90. Then I want to define login policy for this user. I click select all of users and got properties, and it will ask this prompt, and I got account, and I when I got account, it will be automatically hide, but I need to click tick on this, and I click log on hours. It will ask what is the time for you have to log in to give permission to these users. So I select to the B1 student as Monday 8 a.m. to Friday 8 p.m. This is the time every day. So after that, you can click OK and apply and OK. Likewise, I did B2 users to Sunday 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. So then I configured group policies to the in this my environment. I wanted to create group policies separately. Then I got group policy management. It will be prompt like this, and I for the B1, I wanted to B1 student create a group policy. Then I create right click and create a GPU or in this domain and link here and click. It will ask this prompt as the name. I click. I wrote a disable task manager because my policy was disable task manager for all B1 students. This after that you can see like this group policy be added, and I right click it, edit, and go to the edit, and you will be see like this prompt. And under the policies, users policies and administrative templates and CTRL option, you can see what are the group policies for that I wanted. So you can change remove change password, task manager. In that case, I wanted to remove task manager. Then I click remove task manager and right click and edit. It will be asked enable or disable. This automatically is not configured, but I add the enable. Then I apply. So when after the applied, it will be shown group policy was enabled. As yes, but in now my case, I didn't add to the actual users with other computers because that's why I don't put screenshot for live environment.
Okay.
So likewise, I did so many group policies. I add to the every university student same wallpaper to
Right.
their computers.
Okay.
That's why how I created, and I got user configuration policies and desktop. You can see desktop wallpaper and edit. I got my image
Okay.
path. Then users when log into the system automatically they only see our wallpaper, my
Right.
wallpaper which I configured now. Likewise, I did so many uh, group policies I add to my organization. End of this, you can see both servers are done automatically, copied. Uh,
Right.
uh, because but I only did for my root server, but my second server it's also automatically replicated in the
Right.
TC02. So that's my presentation. Thank you. But I faced as one of problem.
Right.
I didn't found any group policies for put time logon time policies to the all of my organization. This
Right. So yeah, what you have done is correct. Actually, there is no policy for that. So what you have done is correct. You have to actually select the users and then you have to change like that. Log on hours. It's a user based, so you cannot actually give it to a group. So what you have done is correct. One thing is, why did you select this kind of structure? How about if you start from the year 19, 20, 21, then you go to the streams, BED, MMW, and then B1 or B2. Why did you select this kind of structure?
uh, because I didn't consider about the structure. I wanted to highlight my how I use configurations, how I add organization unit. I wanted
Mm.
to show you how to configuration structure are there. That's why I did this is so.
Okay. Um, so yeah, so the structure. So according to your structure, maybe I don't know. You might have to B1. You have a separate. If this was the other way, yeah, I'm not sure which way, but anyway, yeah, this structure is also seems okay, but I don't know. Usually, we start from the year and then we go down to the levels. Doing this way, I don't know. There might be any, if there are no changes in the middle. Yeah, so yeah, let's say B1 was changed, or maybe another. If another B3 is added, then you have to create this whole thing again, right? You have to create another B3, then create the 4 streams again, then all the years. So there are 3 years here, right?
Yes.
When we are maybe, yeah, increasing, if you have more years, then yeah, maybe I think the other way would be better. Okay, anyway, you have done, yeah, so yeah, you have properly done. Okay, one thing I want to ask is when you set up the additional domain, so what are the things that need to be there to work as a standalone server in case the primary one fails?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get.
In case the primary domain controller fails, right?
Yes.
The second, the replication, yeah, okay, replication you showed me, but I told you that you have to uh, actually enable some features for the backup domain controller to work as a standalone, right? In case the primary fails, what are those features we have to add?
Mm, Actually, in my case, I link these between together.
Yeah,
Then
replication is anyway happening, right? Even if you don't enable those features, replication will happen. But there are some features which you have to enable to make sure that the backup domain controller will work alone. So what are those features that need to be there? I have taught you during the lectures.
uh, I think global catalog.
Right. Global catalog is yes correct, and there should be something else also.
Mm,
What about the IP settings you put in server 2?
Yeah, DNS.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, actually, those two are the ones which need to be there to work as a yeah.
Yes.
So that
Uh,
actually after you add to the domain, um, yeah, you have to put the DNS server as the same, right? The server IP.
yes, sir. I could. Uh,
Because if first one fails, then this won't work, right? You
yes,
understand?
yes, yes, yes.
You can put like this also, right? You can put both actually. Let's say this is in server 2, right? Then you can put preferred DNS server as the local one, 102, right? Then you can put the alternate DNS server as 101.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So in the other server also you can put like that.
Okay.
So if the DNS service, something happens with the DNS service fails of one of the servers, it can actually refer to the other one.
Yes, sir. In my case, I didn't remember to add it, but for best case, I will do from next time.
Right. Okay. So yeah,
Shall I stop myself?
yeah, you can stop. Okay. Wait. What is your index number?
21, sir.
Okay. The next person can start. Give me a minute. Okay. Next person can start.
Give me a second, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You can start.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to my show. I'm Vidhusan Vikramasinghe. So today I'm going to show how to do following days. Create Active Directory domain service on my server one, and also domain controller and additional domain controller, and how to apply policies. And so this is the requirement. I doing this on my sorry Oracle VirtualBox. So I use two virtual machine to install Windows 2012 R2 server OS,
Okay.
and I also use my wireless router following range 192, 168, and 43.0 range. And also I have a two server virtual machine, and I use following static IPs. So first, in my first server, I use
Ten.
following static IP 10, and also DNS address is 10, and also I use second server address for my alternative DNS address, and
Right.
server 2 static IP is 11, and also I use DNS address for 10 and 11,
Right. Okay.
and default gateway is
One.
like this,
Right. Okay.
and also I use web machine NIC attach bridge
Which adapter?
adapter
Right. Okay.
and VLAN. So in firstly, I'm going to create Active Directory domain service on my server one. So in here, this is I start server manager, and
Right. Okay.
also I can use add roles and feature option to start deploy Active Directory domain service.
Okay.
And also in second, so you can see there is some description in here. You can add new roles and features, and
Okay.
also you can remove roles and features using following links.
Right.
So
Okay.
if you have existing roles and features, you can remove using this. And
Okay.
also I'm going to the next. And also there is a, I want to select installation type, so I use role based or feature based installation.
Okay.
So in here you can see destination server is my server one,
Okay.
and also server section you can see my server one,
Right.
and there is a IP address,
Default IP address.
default IP address, but in here some problem because I get a screenshot, and I previously I mentioned you my static IP address.
Okay.
That is some mistakes, and also select server and roles, and I select server roles, and in here I select Active Directory. Sorry for some mistake in here. Actually, I select Active Directory domain service,
Right. Okay.
and there is some pop-up menu in here. So because if I want to deploy Active Directory domain service, so this is the features that required.
Right.
And also if we deploy the Active Directory domain service, so we need to DNS server.
Yes.
Also I click the
Selected. Okay.
selected DNS server, and I can get what the features that want.
Okay.
And but accidentally if you click the DNS server, but something you get the some errors like that. If you get like this error, that is the reason you are not configuring static IP and DNS correctly. So you can continue, but better you go to the
IP address and then
I,
set the static IP.
yes,
Right. Okay.
and this is how to do it. You can
Right.
go to the adapter and change internet protocol version 4 and use those IP addresses. Okay.
Yes. The error you got earlier because DNS it should have a static IP. That is fine. Yes. So definitely, and that as a domain server also you have to have a static IP. Right. Okay.
And also if it is correct and Active Directory domain service and DNS service is selected, then I'm going to next.
Okay.
And also you can see in here DNS server selected. If you not select the DNS server in here, the operating system says Active Directory Domain Service required the DNS server to install on the network. So that's the important things. You want to DNS server with Active Directory Domain Service. And in here 9 confirmation, all features, all roles and features are in here. You can install like this. And after installation, you must to promote your server to domain controller.
Right.
It's like you must to create a domain and domain controller. So I'm come to create a domain and domain controller on Active Directory service with my New Forest on server 1. So I deploy my configurations. So firstly, I want to deploy domain and domain controller in my server 1. So I use in here add a new forest. So if you have an existing domain controller, you can choose this. And if you have an existing forest, you can select it. And also I'm using the domain name univatech.local.
Okay.
And next I'm going to in here. So I have no existing forest functional and domain functional levels. So I use my latest version Windows Server 2012 R2.
Okay.
And also in here I use DSRM password, because we need to DSRM password if we have some resetting password option you with those password.
Yes. Actually, that is for recovery of Active Directory. If the Active Directory fails, you have to log in using that password. That is the local, actually, administrator password, right?
And also there is some DNS options. It's no problem. You can go forward. And in here, additional option, they want to NetBIOS domain names. That is mean we can use also unitech.local, but it is a very long, and in the network they identify NetBIOS domain name.
Yeah, it's a short. It should be a short name. That is why they are removing that. That is why they have removed the local part. Okay.
In here, some parts are it is not. Yeah, it is very important because this is the database folders and all log file are going to save in here.
Right.
And review option, you can see what you done so far in your
Installation.
selections. And there are some free request check, because if we install the domain ADDS and DC controller, it must be updated for our operating system, and I can install it using install button.
Right.
And after installation, server 1 machine will be restarted, because some configuration apply to the machine or operating system, and there is restarted. After restarted, you can see your
Okay.
login panel. You can see Univatech/administrator. So now this machine is registered with, and it has a domain, Univatech domain. So there is a server manager. So you can see there is a ADDS server, ADDS service, and DNS server. So otherwise you can go to the Active Directory users and computer tools, and you can see your domain in here and what are the predefined folders and groups. Otherwise, all things are in here.
Okay.
Okay, this is the how to create domain and domain controller on ADDS on my server 1. So also there are my second server machine, server 2. So you must to create active domain service on server 2. So it is like as installed ADDS on server 1, but we don't go to promote our ADDS server because it has some things in here. And you can see this is the my first server machine, so it has a ADDS server and DNS server now. And also second machine has uh, not going to install ADDS yet. So uh, after deployment, you can promote ADDS with additional domain controller on server 2 to control existing domain. Now we going to do we have server 1 has a domain and domain
Right.
controller.
Right.
So in second server, I'm going to use second server to additional domain controller
Right.
that control it control server 1 domain. Okay, create additional domain controller on server 2 with existing domain on server 1. So if you can go into the server manager, it has a flag. So uh, it includes the promote server option. So you come in here and you can now you going to add a domain controller to an existing domain.
Right.
So
Okay.
and I'm going to in here and I can click change. So I want to some credential from our domain uh, which are in server 1. So I click the change, and in here there is some pop-up dialog box. So in here firstly you can see domain your machine name only. So you must to change that into the your main main domain. So I type Univertech slash. So if you type to Univertech slash, it in here domain name is updated.
Right.
And I want to access with administrator privilege. So I use administrator and password. Password is univertech.local administrator password, not our second machine administrator password. So
Right.
in that case, and I select we used to select this option, and there are some configuration things, and select the domain the forest where the new domain controller will reside. And in here we can select our domain, and we want to control sitting on the server 2 existing domain in the server 1. So I click here, and finally I can get those interface. So domain name is unotech.local, and it is no error, and supply credential for form is unotech/administrator.
You can continue.
Next, okay, in here there are some default configuration are coming global catalog, and we must to enable global catalog because there are those servers or domain DC domain controllers exchange their information using the global catalog uh, concept.
Yes, actually, the global catalog should be there to work as a standalone server. That is very important. I told you that during the lectures also. If you don't enable this in the additional or backup domain controller, this cannot work on its own without the primary, right? So the global catalog definitely should be there to work as a standalone server. Okay.
Okay, also you can assign the DSRM password, and this is the and this is additional option. This is required. We can select the any, any domain controller or something in here, but prefer any domain controller option is please selected. And also other options, other component is also like as a previously one, and installer process like as a previous domain controller installation. And so after the installation, server 2 is restart, and you must to log in with the server 2 using these credentials, because now server 2 is a domain controller and server 1 have a domain controller, so they have a common credential. So you can use the unotech/administrator and your what you enter the password, and this is the server 2 ADDS and DNS. Okay, so you can use the Active Directory user and computer tools in Server Manager, and you can go into the your domain, and you can see there is a OU is domain controller, so you can see in here your domain controllers. This is a first server and second server.
Right.
Okay, now I'm going to create organizational unit and apply policies for users and OU. So I use following structure to build OU and users and policies. So stream naming badge like as a B1, B2, and year and users. So firstly, I'm going to build the OU. So I'm going to Server Manager and I click Tools, and you can select the Active Directory users and computer tool. So if you go into the in here, and you can select the select top of the domain, and you can get the new organizational unit, and I apply to name Unotech.
Okay.
If you want to this is the some important things. The sticks protect content from accident deletion. If you are going to sometime some person are going to accidentally delete your OU, so sometimes there are all are erased. So this is the option to protect your OUs. Okay, and also I create the net OU under the Unitech, and also the 4 streams I created, and also I created the naming batch B1, B2 under the stream, and also B1, B2 under the years 19, 20, and 21.
Okay.
So I finishing that, and I go into the net B1. I select the 19 OU, and I'm going to the left right pane, and I right click, and you can see there is a new, and I'm going to select user. So I'm going to create a user in network B1 90 year user. So if you click that, you can get like as interface. So you can give the first name like this name, and also you can in second option you can give the password, and in the third option you can see what are the you applied, and this is the summarize. So in the finish you will can get the users. So this is the I created user in network stream B1 batch 19 years. So I use I create the 3 users for my net B119. So there is some question, apply some rules.
Policies, yes.
Yes, some policies, they can access their using their logins to computer Monday to Friday from 8 to yes 8 to a.m. to 8 p.m. So I apply those policies like this. I if we have 40 or 50, we can create those things, and we can select all together and go to the properties, and we can configure it. Otherwise, you can configure one person, and you can copy it, and you can doing some configuration with 15 separately. It is there are 2 methods.
Okay, how do you copy one user's configuration to another?
I personally like as for example, I create the net this login. You
Okay,
can see my cursor, and I'm going to the properties, and I change. I go into the account tab, and I change logon time, and so I configured all things uh, for one user,
right.
and come back, and I right click on it, and I can see copy tool in here. I copy it, and so give the pop-up menu in copy object.
Okay, so
copy, ob- Copy
that
object, and I give the second user's details, and so exist the attributes which are included in the my first user are inherit to the sorry, not inherit, they get the attributes to the second users, like
right.
as
So you have to
logo.
copy one by one if you are doing like that.
Yes,
Okay.
it is a one way. This is the second way. We can deploy the all users, and we can select all this and go into the properties, and like this we can go to the account tab. In here we select the all, and there is a few tabs, 1 2 3 4 5 tabs, but you select the one each one, so you get the lot of tabs with different configuration. So in here I use account. So in I tick on the logon hours, and I select logon hours, and I can get this interface. So this is the Microsoft give the
Allowed time, login
allow,
time.
allowed to login times, and there is a blue is logon permitted, and white is logon denied. So this user can login permitted
Monday to Friday,
Monday to Friday, 8
8
to
a.m. to 8 p.m.
8 p.m. to
Right.
8
Yeah.
p.m. to.
Okay, that's correct. Okay, you can
So
continue.
so also I created the net one B2 1901, and like this, and also I applied to the B2 policies to the that users. So there are Sunday and Monday, there are come to 8 and 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Sunday and Saturday.
Yes, Sunday and Saturday. Okay, now I'm going to create the group policy. So I go into the user manager, and you can use the tools, and there is a group policy management tool. So I'm going to create the GPO for bed stream because there is a question in apply to the policies to streams and years.
Right.
So I get the streams and create the right click on it, and I get those dialog box, and I create a GPO in the domain, that tool, and I get like this dialog box, and you
Okay.
can give the names, what your GPO, and I give policies for bed stream. And if you declare your policy, and you must apply some policies to it, so uh, you must to do it, you must to click on it and right click, and you can get the like these tools, and first tool you can get the edit tool. So you get the edit tool. So there is a two configuration, computer configuration and user configurations. So
Right.
computer configuration apply to the computer which the user are going
Login.
to log in, and user configuration are applied to the uh,
User.
user environment. So in here, I disable the display control panel or anything.
Okay.
And in here you can also click on it and go into the edit, and you can get like this box, and you can enable low, disable low, doing something. There is a lot of policies you can hiding your taskbar. So this is all decided by system administrator, and system administrator apply those policies, and user this is the security purpose. User have some limited uh, tools or exceeded tools. So and I apply some one policies for user. Yes, I applied the policies, and
Right.
in here you can see. So you can see these policies. Click to the policies like this policy, and you can get the scope, details, settings, and delegation. Also, I create the policies for separate year. So in here there is some special things. If you want to use some same policies in your separate year, you can deploy the one policy, and go into the group policy object. You can find in here, and you can copy it, and you go into in here, you can paste in what you paste for uh, what it located to the organizational unit. So if you change some policies, and this is also applied to the other policies, same policies uh, that you applied in another OU. So in here, I click the 19 OU, and you can see there is a three policies. So one policy is the policy for bed B1 policy, and it is the number one policy. Also user user premises to the machine. So it is the firstly apply for his environment, and second are going to the second time, and third is also apply. This is the default domain policy, but sometimes there are can be override, but I think there is
Right. Okay. I asked for another thing. Apply policies for the year. So you have not done for us the policy for the separate years, right? For example, 19, 20, 21.
yeah, it is some problem in here.
And yeah, and another thing. So this policy is for bed B1, right? So that is policy for B1 all the students, right? So you don't actually have to link the policy to 19, 20, 21, all those things at the top. For B1, if you apply the policy, then it will automatically apply to the child objects, right?
Yes.
So you have done some extra work here. That is actually should be linked. Policies of B1 should be linked to the B1 OU, right?
Yes.
And the B2 should be linked to the B2 OU.
B2.
So you have actually separately you have to put for the year. If you are putting policy for 19 separately, 20 separately like that, then you have to link it like that separately.
Yes. There is some problem occur. Uh, I deploy one policies and I apply to the other things, but I go into the remaining that
So how do you copy the policies to the other one?
uh, in the I create some policies like for example in 21 I create policies for bed 1 for 21 and it's also displaying here. This is
Okay.
a group policy object, so I can click in that policy in here and right click, and there is a copy tool and I copy and I'm going to the 19 OU and I click on it and right click and I paste to it.
Okay, right. So actually you can also right click an OU and then you can direct link to an existing OU. And then you can actually do that way also.
Okay.
Okay, so you can continue.
So that's all. Yeah, that is all things I done so far. Thank you
Okay,
very
okay.
much.
Yeah, so yeah, it was good. Except, okay, give me a minute.
Now we are going to add domain control for our server. Then I go into server management and add roles and features and click next. I select the default option, this role based features installation, and click next. And I select the server which we want to format as a domain controller. I select my domain control and click next. And now we can see the lot of roles and features, but now I want to add the domain control, then I select the active direct domain service and tick on, and after tick that roles, we can see the active directory domain roles, and I click on that features, then they're going to install the dependence features in which additional domain control is dependent.
Right.
Then click next and again click next.
You don't have offline PowerPoint version, is it?
Yes, sir. May this Linux version some issue
Ah, okay.
came.
Linux, you also get a open source version, I think, but it's not compatible, is it?
Yes. Let me
Okay.
next, then again next, and uh, uh, take some times to install that installation. Uh, After installation was completed, we want to click on the promote this server to a
Okay.
domain controller, and it will start the configuration wizard.
Okay.
And now I click on the add new forest because now I going to add new installation to new domain. After click on this new forest, we want to add a domain name. Then I put in domain name as a himansa.local and click next. After click next, we want to add a password, the directory service registered mode, and I add the password and click next. And I click next. I and this we want to create new name for our domain.
Okay.
And click next, and again click next. And this is the default folder location of the database log files and sysvol files. If you want to change it, you can change, but in this time I choose the default locations and click next. In this window, review your selections. If you want to do some all the if in
Any
this
changes? Yeah, you can.
any changes, you can go previous and change it.
Okay.
But in this time I not change, and I click next, and then click the install button. Then service domain service installing.
Okay.
After the installing, server will restart. After the restart, now I want to add other server to add the additional domain. Then I clone the server from first server and right click on the first server and clone. And next, I put a name for the second clone and click next. And after I change the network adapter, both servers network adapter to bridge adapter. And I configure the second server like this. I put the static IP for the this server too.
Right. Okay.
I put the static IP as a 192.168.1.11, and default gateway is 192.168.1.1, and DNS server is 192.168, and I rename this server like as a Himansa server 2.
Okay.
And after I doing configuration like previously, but I don't put that screenshot because the presentation was go longer.
Okay.
And in the screen we want now, I came to promote this server to add controller and
Right.
click it. And now we are going to new additional control domain. Then I click on to add domain controller to access domain and select the domain.
Okay.
And we want to put the name and password and click the domain and click OK.
Okay.
After the next, and we want to again add the password for directory service restore mode.
Right. Okay.
And then again next, and now we want to select previous we want to replicate that our previous server, then I click the other server and
Okay.
click next. And again, we want to select the folder path and click next.
Okay.
And again, click next. After the installation, it will restart.
Okay.
Then I want to then I going to replicate these two both server, and I go into activity sites and service.
Okay, one
and
thing here, the second server, it's you didn't rename
sorry
because
sir,
it's showing.
oh yes sir, I renamed that after the doing this.
Okay, 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 okay. Continue.
Then I go to Active Directory sites and service, and I select my first server,
Okay,
Himalayan server 1, and go to all task and click replication technology and click OK. Then replicate link will be given, and right click on that and replicate now.
okay,
Then both servers are replicate with
right,
each
okay,
other.
okay,
Then both servers synchronize all with it. Then I do the same thing for the other server.
right,
Uh, now I'm going to create organization unit. Then
right.
I going to tools and Active Directory users and computer, and go select my domain server and create click new and create organization unit. I name it, I give to name it UOVT and click
Okay,
OK.
okay,
And I create a new organization unit under that UOVT, that create B1 and B2. Just then click OK. After I create the all organization unit and users under this, like this.
okay.
And now I going to add set log hours for the users. Then I will select the all users and get properties and get account. If you can, if you want to, you can select each other, and you can get properties, but it is a waste our time. Then I select the all users and get properties and get account. Then click on the log hours, and I select the
So
log
this is for
hours.
the B1 group, right?
Yes, B1 group.
Okay.
I select the 8 Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I select that range and click OK. I doing the same thing for second batch for with P2 batch, Sunday and Saturday 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
Then I going to add the group policies for that. Then go to server management and get tools and get group policy management.
Okay.
Then click on the then I want to put the group policies for B1. I want to right click on the B1 and create the GPO in this domain and get click here. And then now you want to put the name for that group policies and click OK. Then after click OK, group policies will create. Then right click on the group policies and go edit.
So
Then
this GPU you are creating for B2, right?
yes sir.
So, or B1.
B1s.
Okay.
Now I going to put log cover group policy. If the user is login to accept the log cover, they log out the user. Then I go to Windows settings and security settings. Under the security settings, I go to security options. Then I select the Microsoft Network Server, disconnect the client when log cover expire.
Right.
Then click it and tick the define the policy editing and enable. and click OK. Then group policy at the under all the B1 students.
Right.
It's enough.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sandhnika Malshani Damsatme. Today I talk about this assignment, how to do this assignment. What we do, my presentation, you can see here. First, I open my Windows server, and first I click Add Role and Features. Then I click Next. This is two installation type, role-based and or features-based installation and remote desktop service installation. I sorry, I click first and click next. Then this is a server selection. This is automatically select a server from the server full. I'm not changing it, and I click next. This is I click Active Directory domain service. Then I click next. I'm not adding some features. Then I click next. This is have some message. ADDS require a DNS servers to be installed on the network. If you don't have DNS server installed, you will be prompted to install the DNS server role in this machine. So I click previous and I click here DNS server and click next.
Okay.
Then I click install. Now you can see configuration required, installation succeed. So I click close. Then I click here warning flag and click promote this server to domain controller. Okay, then I click this is third of add a new forest, and I click firstly I click here only ABC. So there is some error message. So I again click here and type abc.com and I click next. This is automatically selected. So I click next. Again click next. Here name is automatically adding here and I click next. Here again I click next and click next. Here you can see all are passed successfully.
Okay.
So I click install. So I create two virtual machine in the Azure virtual machine. And I open first Windows Server and click here for I want to change to static IP for our server machine. I'm going to changing NIC adapter IP address dynamic to static. So I click here open network and sharing center. Then click here first one change adapter setting. Now click Ethernet. I'm click right click and select properties. Then here click IPv4 and click this one and click OK. This is automatically sorry. This is automatically selected IP4 10.0.0.4 and 10.0.0.5. And
That is for DNS server.
I click OK. This is my, sorry, sir.
That is DNS server, right? Not the server IP.
Okay, sir. This is my second Windows server. Here I click volume flag and click promote this server to domain controller.
Wait, previously you did not assign a static IP to the server, right?
Sorry, sir, I'm missing this.
The previous
Screenshot.
slide.
Here.
Yes. So this is, so you were going to assign a static IP to the server, right?
Yes.
But this, what you have highlighted here is not the server IP, it's the DNS IP.
Okay, sir.
So in the top is where you assign the static IP to the server, right? But currently it's having a DHCP, obtain IP address automatically. That means it's a DHCP IP, what it's having, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, you can continue.
Here I click this one and this message come. I click add domain control to existing domain, and I click select. And I type server one and select, and I click change. So this box become.
Yeah, the previous step, the domain, it should be ABC, right? Your domain you created.
Yes, sir, but I created server one machine.
Yeah,
So
but
firstly I type here ABC, but not forest. I can't find forest in it domain.
you change the forest name to server one.
No, sir.
The domain name should be ABC here, right? This is not the name of the server. What you are putting here, you are adding this second server to the same domain. So the domain you created when you added the first domain controller, you have to use that same name here.
Yes, sir, but I tried put it here ABC, and I change here, but it cannot see forest.
Okay, but anyway, your account username here, it's abc/marshani. So ABC is the domain, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in the first step also, in the select also, it should be ABC.
Okay, sir.
Okay, there seems to be something wrong. Okay, continue.
And I click OK. Here I can see abc.com, and I click next.
Yeah, that is the select one, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, it's server one. You must have just typed, but you cannot just type a domain. You have to select, right? So yeah, this is the correct step.
Okay, sir. And I click next. Here I create a new password and confirm it, and I click next. Again I click next, and here additional option, it is automatically selected, and I click next. Here is path. I'm not change it. I click next. Here again I click next, and click install. So machine is automatically restart. This is our this is my path. Firstly I create stream and name in badge and year, and I create user.
Okay.
Again I click tool and active. Sorry, firstly I go to server manager, and I click tool and click active directory user and computers. So this is my domain name. I right click it and click new, and I click organizational unit. Then I put it here name. If you want to save this contact, protect contact from accident delete, you can put it here, check box tick,
Right. Okay.
and I click OK. In here, same for stream, I put it like these steps, and I do again B1 batch. I create same this step. This is that steps, and I create users for B1. First I click right click B1 and click new and click user, and I put it here first name and last name. Full name is automatically created, and I type user login name and I click next. I create here password. If you want to change password, and user can change password and next login, you can tick here, and also you can change cannot change password or password never expire. Like this, you can tick here and change setting, and I click next.
Okay.
After that, I finish it. Now I set group policy. I'm going to start menu and click group policy management here. Firstly, I create a policy for BED. So click here. This is the step. Firstly, I click forest.abc.com,
Okay.
and again clear domains. So and I click abc.com and click BED,
Okay.
and right click and create a GPO in this domain and link it here. So I put it here name for BED policy, and I click OK. So you can put policy like first one, click here, click right click here and create GPO in this domain and link it here.
Right.
So I edit this policy. First I click this 19-year policy and right click and edit. This is sorry, this is the steps. First I click computer configuration and I click policies and I click Windows settings. Then I click security settings, and I double click security option. And here I scroll down and click Microsoft Network Server disconnect client when login hour expire.
Okay.
So this is message box is open.
Right.
I click here box, and this is automatically selected.
Right.
And I click OK. So again I go to tool, Windows Server and tool, and click Active Directory user and computers. Here I click all of these users, but if you want to select one by one, you can do it. And I click here and right click this one and click properties. So this message is open. and I click account and tick login hours. This message can click you. After that you click this box.
Right. Okay.
So this is B1 batch login hours,
Okay.
and this is B2 batch login hours.
Right. Okay.
So after that, click here and click OK.
Okay.
Then apply and click OK.
Right.
Okay, thank you, sir.